Assalamu alaikum. How are you everyone? I hope you all are fine. I am Imran Ahmed, your science teacher, Cantonment Public School and College, Saidpur. Our today's topic of discussion of this session is classification of vertebrate animals. So here we classify the vertebrate animals which exist in our universe. So at first, what is vertebrate animals? All you know according to my previous lecture, and these vertebrate animals are discussed under the phylum Chordata. Discussed. So what is the Chordata? So the animals which have vertebral column at the back of its body is known as vertebral column, and this vertebral column, the animals which contains this vertebral column in its backside is known as chordates. So all the animals of this phylum Chordata bears the vertebral column and they are known as chordates. This is clear. And what is this vertebral column? Vertebral column, simply this is known as notochord. In simple word, this is notochord. So what is notochord? We know after some discussion. At first we know the animals about this phylum Chordata. All the animals of these phylums are distributed in every part of the earth. Okay, so they can found in all habitats, like they can present in water, they can present in land, they can present in desert, they can present in polar region, they can present in cave, everywhere. Some animal of this phylum lives on tree, they are known as arboreal. Okay, so these are the habitats of the animals belong to this phylum Chordata. Now notochord. What is notochord? Notochord is a rod-like unsegmented semi-rigid structure which is present at the back of animal's body of this phylum, and this part provides the stiffening throughout the body axis, and this notochord present in animal's life cycle in some part of its life or throughout the life, or sometimes this notochord replaced by vertebral column. So this is the notochord, and the animal of this phylum bears a single dorsal tubular nerve cord, okay, at the back of its body. So what is nerve cord? That means our central nervous system is brain, and from the brain the part which extend through the vertebral column, this is the spinal cord. So single dorsal nerve cord or lumen is present here. So these are the general features, general characteristics about the phylum Chordata. Okay, so which are the animals belongs to this phylum Chordata? Simply we men, then higher domestic animals like cattle, cow, goat, then different types of birds and different types of fishes, all are belong to this phylum Chordata. For our more clarification, this phylum Chordata divides into three subphylum. One is Eurochordata, and second one is Cephalochordata, and third one is Vertibrata. So this one is first subphylum under this Chordata, Eurochordata. So the animal of this subphylum bears the notochord only in the larval stage, and later on it only exists in its tail. Okay, and the outer covering, the animal's outer covering is known as tunic. Okay, and The example of this subphylum animals is, this is Sulfa maxima. Sulfa maxima. In your book only the sulfa is present, and the second one is Acidia. Acidia mentula. This is the scientific name. As this is the scientific names, that's why we put underline in these two parts. One is genus and one is species, and I try to give idea about the genus and species in my first lecture. Okay, so these two are the example of the animals of this subphylum Eurochordata. Okay, so this is example, and its two general features is present in your book. So all you read this. Here tubular dorsal nerve cord is present. So that's all regarding this subphylum. And then this is our Cephalochordata. So Cephalochordata, these are the second subphylum of this phylum Chordata. Okay, here notochord and nerve cord persist throughout the length of the animal's body. Okay, and in the lifelong it persists as the notochord. Okay, and it is very long in structure, and its body is long, laterally compressed, and the two end of its body is narrow. Okay, the frontal part of its body bears the mouth. Okay, so this is the general characteristics regarding this subphylum Cephalochordata. Here we have the example. So which is the example of this subphylum's animal? This is Branchiostoma. BRANCH Branchiostoma. This is the scientific name, and it also bears another part, lanceolatum. So Branchiostoma lanceolatum, this is the scientific name of the animals belong to this subphylum Cephalochordata. Clear? And our next subphylum regarding this phylum Chordata is Vertibrata. Okay, Vertibrata. For easier understanding, we divide this subphylum Vertibrata into 7 classes. One is Cycloostomata, second one is Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. Okay, so Cycloostomata. So in your book you have the name of animal of this class. This is Petromyzon marinus, and this animal is very long in structure. Here true jaws, that means teeth, true jaws and paired appendages are absent, and its body is like fish, and they respirate by gills. These are the general characteristics of this class, animal of this class, and its example is Petromyzon marinus. So these example are mentioned in your book. Then second class is Chondrichthyes. Okay, Chondrichthyes. Here the word chondrion. For this Chondrichthyes, the word chondrion. Chondrion means cartilage, and ichthyes, ICHTHYES, is ichthyes means fish. Okay, so the fish which bears the cartilaginous skeleton in its body are discussed under this class Chondrichthyes. So we see lots of different types of fishes, but these all fishes bears the bony skeleton, but the fishes under this class bears the cartilaginous skeleton. Okay, so this type of fishes only present in sea. So all the member of this class are marine. Okay, and its body is streamlined, long, and it bears the 5 to 7 pairs of gill slit in its two side of its head, and its mouth is present in its lateral side of its body, that means in lower side, not like ours. Okay, its mouth is present in its lower side, and here the outer surface of its body we can see very small scales, very small scales. These scales is known as placoid scales. So this is the general characteristics regarding the class Chondrichthyes, and here we can mention the example, and the example is Scoliodon Soracoa, swordfish. Okay, and again Spherna is the another example, Sphyrna, Spherna. This is Spherna sp. This is also the example of animals belong to this class. So that's all about the class Chondrichthyes. Okay, then here the third class is Osteichthyes. Osteichthyes, the ostion means bone and ichthyes means fish. So the fishes which bears bony skeleton in its structure are discussed under this class Osteichthyes. Okay, so the member species of this class are freshwater fishes, and its body is covered by different types of scales like cycloid, ganoid, ctenoid. These are the different types of scales, and some species are scaleless. So here we can see the Osteichthyes fish belongs to this class are two types. Some bears scales in its body and some are scaleless. So the animals which bear scales is known as carp fish, and the fishes which bears no scale it known as catfish. It bears tentacles outside of its mouth. Okay, so this is the general characteristics of this class, and here we can see, if we observe the ledge, shape of ledge, so here we can see homocercal ledge. That means both part of its ledge is equal. This is called homocercal ledge, and in case of Chondrichthyes we see heterocercal ledge in Bengali, tail, heterocercal tail, like this is heterocercal tail, and here we can see homocercal tail, and here we can see the fishes bears 4 pairs of gills in the both side of its heads, and the gills are covered by operculum. Okay, so gills are not open, these are covered by operculum. So what are the example of the animals, that means fishes of these Osteichthyes? Here we can mention our national fish, Tenualosa Elisha, Tenualosa. Then Katla fish, Katla. So these are the example of the fishes belongs to this class Osteichthyes, and our next class is Amphibia. Here the word amphi means both. Amphi means both, and bia means bios. Amphi, the animal which can survive both in land and both in aquatic habitat, are belong to this phylum Amphibia. So which are the amphibians? You have the idea. So amphibians are, at first I mentioned the example, frog and toad. So all you see frog and toad. If you observe the body structure of frog and toad, you can see its body are sometimes dry, sometimes smooth, and its body bears lot of glands, and these glands remain filled with different types of toxic juices, and when it faces in difficulties, they secrete these juices to protect themselves. And the animals of this class bears 4 foot, but its foot in frontal 2 foots contains 4 fingers, but the fingers are nail-less, and the back foot contains 5 fingers. This is also nail-less. Okay, and here this is very important. All you know to what is the difference between frog and toad. What is frog and toad? If you see the frog, then you see its foot, its legs are more long, more strong, comparing the leg of toad. Okay, and its body is very smooth, but its body is dry, rough. Here no scales are present. That's all about the class animal of class Amphibia. So if you want to write the scientific name of this frog and toad, so then we can mention the scientific name of frog is Rana tigrina. This is the scientific name of frog, and if we mention the scientific name of toad, this is Bufo melanostictus. Melanostictus. This name we used in before, but now this is Dataphrynus melanostictus. That's all about the class Amphibia. Now our next class is Reptilia. Okay, Reptilia, that means here reptiles, the animal which moves by crawling. Okay, that means they moves on the basis of its chest. Okay, belong this class Reptilia. And what are the general characteristics of these animals? Its bear scales in its body. Body is dry, and it bears 4 foot, and each foot contains 5 fingers, and all fingers bears the nail. This is the general characteristics, and moves by crawling. So what are the example of animals of this phylum? This is wall lizard. Wall lizard. Wall lizard, then tortoise. Tortoise. If you want to mention the scientific name, then the scientific name of wall lizard is Hemidactylus brooki. Brooki. And the scientific name of tortoise is Chris picta. This is the scientific name of tortoise. So that's all about the animal of class Reptilia. Now the second class is Aves. Aves, this class represents the all birds which exist in our earth, and here all the birds bear feather in its body, and it bears 2 tail, 2 wings, and 1 strong beak, and its bones are very strong and laced with air cavities, and its lungs also bears air cavities. That's why they can fly more easily in open sky. And the example, here you can mention the national bird of Bangladesh. This is in Bengali, this is Doel. The scientific name Copsychus saularis. This is Copsychus saularis. This is the scientific name of our national bird Doel. And you can mention the pigeon. Pigeon. This is Columba livia. So that's all about the class Aves, and these are the example of animals of this phylum. And last of all, our class is Mammalia. Mammalia, we are mammals. We are mammals. So the body of mammals covered by hair, and they bears heterodont. That means different types of teeth is present inside the buccal cavity. Some are used in chewing, some are used to cut the foods. So heterodonts are different types of teeth are present in these animals, and its heart is completely four chambered. And the young mammals receives milk from the mammary gland of their mothers. That's all about the characteristics of Mammalia. And if you want to mention the example, then we can mention ourselves, man. We are Homo sapiens. Okay. Then we can mention the most common domestic animal, cow. This is Bos indicus. Okay, so these two are example of animal belong to this class Mammalia. That's all about our today's class, classification of vertebrate animals. If you have any question, any query, then you can ask me in the comment section of this lecture. Okay, I hope this lecture will help you to understand the classification of vertebrate animals. Allah Hafiz everyone.